Okay, a bit frustrated I am. You can see my face missing. Every time I start my camera, this is my problem. I always get the focus that comes on. This is a number video in where I'm going to show number relationships. And the reason for this, okay, or not the reason for this, is just to show you how numbers can link just as well as words can link. And if I was to say a number on the element scale with a letter, you would say, okay, this is the element we have. So our number scale was built based on that recipe. Now, it's not my recipe, it's my reality, it's my understanding because of my findings and association and the art that has built my mind to believe this. This is what I believe. If you don't think it's real, that's fine. But that's not what this video is about. It's not about being real and not real. It's like taking a math equation and coming up with the answer and going, okay, it's the answer. And it's we go to school and we get answers and everybody's all excited because we got the answer. Well, that's all this is about. Numbers that have answers to numbers, and I associate the answers with each other. And I believe that these numeric values of alphanumeric, where words in layman terms going A from 1 and Z26 and different kinds of associations of relationships of numbers in where we build numbers. When I show you this dice and I show you this calculator, you would say, so what? But I would go 147, I would go 369, and I would go the void is in 258. I can flip you any number and show you number 27, where we have two numbers and three missing in the center and two missing on each side. Well, how come I don't just take these two rows and count this in this corner over here? Why do I have to count this for the entire thing? Well, you can count it from here. If I count it from here, I would have one cube here, one cube here, one cube here, and one cube here, meaning I need 6 cubes to be able to have this numeric fashion. If I have 6 cubes, on 1 cube is 4, on 6 cubes is 24, gives me a relationship of 9. I'm usually basing this that the cube is 9 because of how many areas it shows me here. But this middle area could be showing me the in-between here. If it shows me the in-between here, it also tells me that if each area was equal, according to how equal the size of the dots are, that means 4 to 7, the middle would be 5.5. That would mean the center here, okay, or the vacuum area to that area, the space between here would go from 5.5 to 4 and from 5.5 to 7. If I would use the relationship of this, okay, 1, it would show me the heart number 6. The 6 owns 5, 4, 7, and 8. 5, 4 equaling to the sun, 5, 7 equaling to the moon, 5, 8 in relationships, okay, to the word 2. In relationship and association to an accumulation of numbers, which is 110, 19, and 28, equaling to the total of 58. If I put this 1 over here, it would now tell me this area over here is 7. 7 in relationship to 7 and 8, 7 and 6, 7 and 5, 7 and 9. One area owning 4 areas. Okay, meaning and these would have to be smaller, but they show that it's hard to explain that. There may be 4 areas here, but there's actually 5. That means each area is 1.25. 1.25 multiplied by 4, 1.25. I have that in a little piece over here. 1.25 times 5 is 125. 1.25 times 5 is 625. Times 41 is a short Mayan count. So there's a continuous link to these numbers. So we're going to go over the numbers right now. Okay. If we want to build our 10s, and I'm only going to go up to 19, because after 19, all you do is repeat. 21 becomes 3, and I'm not going to do 21. I'm just going to show you that if 21 is 3, the 3 area inside of 12, 10, 1 and 0 is 1, 11, 1 and 1 is 2, 12, 1 and 2 is 3, 13, 1 and 2 is 4, 1 and 2. I had to pause the video to catch my breath. As the information, I believe, comes in from the altar world or from a psychic power, or that I'm retarded and I believe that there is another world out there, that I should be changing one set of earmuffs for another set of earmuffs. But I do believe there's something else out there, because I've had relationships with the altar. The marriage, the ring of consciousness, the awakening and the understanding where I can separate worlds. I know this is not part of the video, but money has nothing to do with life. Money is a train. Money is a tree. Money is a relationship for being able to put value in association, for creation, and having everybody doing their part because they need to have to do to get, in order to show value for what they did, which is all Nairishkeit. Forget about what I just said. There's just too much to explain. Let's go back to the numbers. When we get to 10, the only way to get 10 is in 10. 9 and 1, 2 and 8, 3 and 7. The way to get 11 is 2 and 9, 3 and 8, 4 and 7. The way to get 12 is 3 and 9, 4 and 8, 5 and 7. But there is a number missing, okay? And that number to get 12, 1 and 2, all these numbers, 3 and 9 is 12, 1 and 2 is 3, 4 and 8 is 12, 1 and 2 is 3, 5 and 7 is 12, 1 and 2 is 3, 6 and 6 is 12. 6 and 6 is the dividing road, the left side and the right side. 5 and 5 is dividing roads, the right side and the left side. That is the only way to get it. 4 and 6 can be seen on the same side, okay? 4 and 6. When we have 10, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. When we have 11, we have 1, 2, 3, 4. When we have 12, we have 1, 2, 3, 4. So 11 and 12 can be deemed connecting. When we have 13, we have 1, 2, 3 areas. When we have 14, we only have 2 areas. Inside of 12, 1 and 2 is 3, 21. Inside of 13, okay, inside of 13, 1 and 3 is 4. Somehow I've got these all in the wrong order, so this one will have to be moved up. 1 and 3, 13. 1 and 4, or 14. 1 and 5, or 15. You follow what I'm getting to? When we go to 14, we go to 15. The only way to get 15 is in rotation. Inside of rotation is the gateway. We go around 7 and 8. Remember, when you draw a line, there's the inside of this and there's the outside. Although you see just one line, it's inside the line, okay? And there's outside the line. If I would make this line thicker, you would see what I'm talking about. I will do it a little bit thicker. I'm going to draw this a little bit thicker. Let me just do this. There's on the line, and there's inside the line, and there's outside the line. You follow my drift? Okay, so let's continue on. 14, 16. When we get to 16, they're always saying sweet 16. Well, 16, 1 and 5. Okay. 16, 1 and 6 equals 7. Let me just pause. 2 and 1, 3 and 1, 4 and 1 for 14. Why did I reverse it? Because I also want to show you the other side of connecting to number 5. 6 and 8 is 14, 1 and 4 is 5. This is the separation of the 7th gate. This is your G and H. When you have G and H, depending on which numeric factions you use, I don't use any terminology anybody else does. I know nothing about math. I don't know English. I don't know anything about anything to do with school other than what I've created for my own self, for my own well-being, to bring me out of that that when I was bipolar and noted in 2005, and when I broke out and started to see this world, I never saw this world before. Before 2005, this was hocus pocus to me. But after 12 years, I see relationships. 91 equals to the word spirit. 13 times 7, 91. 13 cards in the deck. 19, artificial intelligence. The only way to do it in numbers and on the roulette, the design on the roulette will duplicate itself and repeat at 19. 19, 20, 21. Repeat 16, 17, 18. 81 equals to the word Venus. It is the one dot in between 8 dots. On the rotary dial, all of them are together. So we have to look at, there's another reality in this. Okay, inside the circle of life, there is the birth. Inside 1 and 7, which is the minimum and the maximum on a dice, you have 2 dice. You take one of them, you add them with the lowest of one dice, the highest of the other, and you get your 7. 1 times 7, 1 plus 7 will create your 7 and 8. Your 7 and 8 from 17 now relates to 15. 7 and 7 is 14. 1 and 4, I'm using this over here. Okay, I don't want to use the number 7. 17 is because we always have 10 and 7 to create this. 10 and 7 is now 1 and 7, meaning I'm connecting the 1 value and 0. 0 is equal to 6 because 0 takes up the totality of this. You can use the number 4 or 6 to relate to 0, because what happens is you need to turn it on this angle over here to have the center one. Okay, how can I explain this? Oh man, I can't even explain this, but it's 4 and 6. See the way 4 is the 0 and 5 will create, where's that number 5? 5, you can put a line right through it and connect. That'll create your X. But the 4, you go all the way around the center. So your XO is 5 and 4. And that numeric value is fox, sun, hole. The hole, sun in the foxhole. I just mark this down, HOLE, which equals to 8 and 15 and 12 and 5 equals to a total of 40. The hole equals to 40. And if it equals to 40 in numbers, 2, 4, 6, 8, 1, 3, 7, 9, 20, 20 equals to 40. This little dot here in the center will be your 5. 45, 54, foxhole in the sun. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I. The H and I are numbers that come together. The 19 will start you over again. 1 plus 0 equals to 1. 1, 9, artificial intelligence. This starts over. That means 9 is your mirror. All zeros equal 6. Make this 16. Make it 25, which is now the numeric value for saying car, which means your body, which means 25, which means 1/4. 1/4 or 11 equals to K. 5 equals to E. 25 equals to Y. MON 42. KEY 42. 84 is the half-life of the heaven of the delta angle. A delta angle for me, okay, is the gamma, using gamma, and it means one side. I'm just thinking of it this way. Here's your gamma and your delta. They're both coming from Greek. Okay, one side and one side, your delta angle. They only show you one formation. Alpha, beta, gamma, delta, DC 3 and 4 associating together. I don't explain it the way I want to, but anyways. 18, the numeric fashion. Why do these numbers come to this? Because I always multiply everything by 3 to make it perfect. 3 makes everything perfect in numbers to me. 3 times 1 is 3. 3 times 4 is 12. 1 and 2 is 3. 3 times 7 is 21. 2 and 1 is 3. 3 times 2 is 6. 3 times 5 is 15. 1 and 5 is 6. 3 times 8, 24. 2 and 4 is 6. 3 times 3 is 9. 3 by 6 is 18. 3 by 9 is 27. 2 and 7 equals to 9. 369, 369, 369, 333, 666, 999. The next level, where you go to 10, 11, 12, will then be 13, will then be 10, 30, 11, 33, 12, 36, 30, 33, 36. 6, 9 comes in rotation. Where does this 6 and 9 come from? 3 times 3, 3 plus 3 equals to 6 and 9. 9 times 6 equals 54 and 15. Those numeric fashions will bring the Sun into Mars, number 11. It also brings on the leap day to the numeric value of C and H, also to the K, CHK, Canadians hockey. Also the K will represent your monkey. This combination I always use for the combination in the church, or the connecting of the steeple, 19 and 1938, artificial intelligence. This is your electric company cycle of the moon, 7 times 4, 28. 7 plus 4, 11. You minus it. It creates 17, which will then multiplied and added, which will create 78, will come to your 7 gateway to the 8 passageway heaven. And this number, see, it's all complicated because there's tons and tons of associations. When you're in the gematria scale or on the piano, your 8th letter, your 8th key is back to A again, A, B. A is no value until you reach B, and you get no value from B until you reach C. 1 on 2 equals to 3. You have something in between. B is in between A and C. Does it make any sense to you? If B is in the middle of A and C, you will have to use that life formation comes over here. The steeple, the church, this number is time cross Jesus. This number is wolf 3, 7, white. 29 is 5 times 4, 5 plus 4. There's ways to get these numbers, which will explain a deeper root to this. You're 14, and why I told you why I stop at 19, 20, 2 plus 0 is 2. I'm back to 11 again. 19, I'm over here, and it's the first numeric value for doubling, for mirroring up on the second side. 21 is now over here. You're back to 3 again, so I do not need anything but from this to here. And nothing actually begins until you get to this number over here. There is no number to repeat here. We only can start at 21. Only can start at 21. 10 has a multiplication of 0, which gets us nowhere, even though it's reverted to 6. 1 and 6 come together as the half-life. How sweet 16. There is no more than 4. There is no more than 5. Excuse me, there's no more than 5 where 1 is the center of 4, so the reality is the greatest diameter lies in 4. The new world begins over here, the half-life. I call it the half-life because those 2 dots in the center are the half-life. The quarter life is inside over here, where this 1 dot is the evaluation to the greatest diameter of the 4 corners. I also like to look at 12 and 14 as these 2 numbers will create quarter. 12 will create half. This will create 1/3. However association you want to bring that in, that's fine. 7 times 7, or the number evaluation for Christ, is right over here. It also represents green. It also represents 8. Inside of 58, the numeric value 85 is for the Silver Spirit Mercedes Matrix. Why? Because there's a commercial on TV that's stuck in my head, and the numeric value for Matrix is 85, and silver is 85. Of the spirit is 76. 1 times 6, 1 plus 6 will create the highest numeric value to the half-life and the gateway, equaling to 13, equaling to 4. Man's bar mitzvah. Woman and man, the bar mitzvah and the bat mitzvah, equals to a total of 52. The numeric value for the quarter earth, Earth's heart, number 52. B and E, breaking and entering. If you want to bring the number to earth and monkey together, we have 52 and 32. 32 bring the freezing point, and I want to just mark something over here, that minus 18 equals to 0, and 0 equals to 32. 9 and 5. This is the Celsius. 0 Celsius is 32 Fahrenheit. Minus 18 Celsius is 0 Fahrenheit. We have 15, we have 16. Now they say it's sweet 16, and sweet 16, here we have two numbers that can be created. 88 is the connecting sky, 7 is the gateway to the birth. 88, okay, where do we get 88? There actually is no 88 in gematria. 8 and 8 is the stop of Chaldean. So for those who know Chaldean, this numeric faction will come into a value of some sort. 8 and 8 equals to 16, 1 and 6 equals to 7, and it is also a numeric value for 5, PHI. 4 times 4, 4 plus 4 equals to 16 and 8, 24, which 2 times 4, 2 plus 4 is now an evaluation over here inside 14, where we multiplied 14. That is your DNA. And the communication of the cat, where cat is 24, where weed, marijuana, is 420. 5 and 9, which is 5 is E and 9 is I. E and I, the birth in electric company, the birth of the E spirit, the electronic spirit, transformation of the real spirit, which the real spirit is in the letter S because of the sound ES. That's the only way I can do it. That's the only way I believe, and it's worked for me. Now, when you come to sweet 16, 17 brings you up to the numeric value for Mars. 9 by 8 equals 72, and it is part of your 72, 720 minutes to the half day. 72 times 5 is 360 times 4, which is the real value, equals to 288 days. That should be a real year. Multiplied with 288 times 1.25 is 360. I think our time has been manipulated by 0.25. That's a lot. That's how they can control us, by always being in advance in front of us. And don't forget, when you're always in front of us, you can build and manufacture and develop and share information networks, and always be way 0.25 over and over brings you years in advance of our thinking. So 54 is the 18, the numeric value for the sun. 99, the numeric value which creates 18 into Jupiter, which the word Jupiter says the division of, the Jew, or the splicing, or the splitting. 81 equals to Venus. 57 equals to the moon, the sun, the moon, and Mars. 17, 18, 19. 17 and 18 only have two numbers. The reason I mentioned monkey is because in the game of Baccarat, where 8 and 9 are naturals, when the 10 comes out, they're always calling for a monkey. Or if you're playing blackjack, they call for a monkey in blackjack, meaning the 10 card. Blackjack is the game of 21, and a monkey and natural 8 and 9 in Baccarat. So they're sometimes always calling out for these specific cards very often. Usually in blackjack, there's very often you get a 12 and you pull a 10 and you bust. So why does that happen? What is the relationship? The sky system, sun, birth, and Mars, and the division of the two. You bust. You bust it out. 66, 676. The dividing of the gematria pyramid. So anyways, these are all these numbers. Key equals to 11, 5, 25, or 2, 5, and 7. You multiply it, it becomes 70 and 14, back to 84. Monkey. Raphael, 7286, in a constellation of Pegasus, life of 5 to 9. Ape equals to 22. I just want to bring on one more thing, that there's reverse for all of these. And the reverse for all of these is 27 per number, saying that inside of the word 10, okay, although 10 equals to an evaluation, I'm just changing the subject now, 10 equals to evaluation of 39. The exchange of 39, 3 times 27 is 81, and 39 equals to 42. So 10 and 42, 10 and the cat linked together. 42 is an evaluation of 5 and 9, and now I connect 5 and 9 to the cat. So first I connect 1 to 5, and now 5 to 9. And we have to understand, okay, that in the heaven is the 9 birth. In the 9, 1 is inside of 8. So if I divide 8 divided by 1 equals to 1 divided by 8 equals to 0.125. That is our memory. There's more to it. I don't know what the evaluation is. The single digit here is a value of 9. 1 equals to 9. How do we do that? 1 divided by 9. There's something in here. I'm not a mathematician. Anyways, we're going to leave it at that. Raphael 7286 and a constellation of Pegasus. I can't end this video. There's more to it. 9 times 9, 81. 8 times 9, 72. Okay, this is perfect on this to create my 9. This is off by 1. 1 and 7, and 8 and 9. 8 and 9 that are numbers that are the same letter value. When you have a 1, you always have 2. 1 and 2, because it's 1 between 2, it's 1 between 4. 1 between 2 and 1 between 4. 1 between 2 and 1 between 4. Electric company. Any craps in the game of craps. It's just there's too much information to explain it exactly right. There's a lot of number boards. All my 3s, all my 4s, all my 5s, all my 7s. All these numbers here, this is what the video I'm going to take you to next, and I'm going to show you what these numbers do. And I'm only on the surface of this. I haven't even filled in the grids yet and built the heartbeat to this. Raphael 7286 and a constellation of Pegasus. Thank you for watching this video.